What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, back here for another Tottenham update. Got a few bits and pieces to get through, and let's start off with a report from Corriere dello Sport talking about Ajax's Mohamed Kudus. And they say Tottenham Hotspur are keeping an eye on Ajax striker Mohamed Kudus, who will be at the World Cup with Ghana. If you want to see a bit of a report on him as well, we've picked out 10 players to watch at this World Cup in terms of Spurs signings, and now he's been linked with us, so happy days.
Yeah, and I think he's a good young attacking player who definitely looks like he's got a lot of potential. He's done very well in the Champions League this season. He's only 22 years of age. I'm going to be taking a close look at him with the World Cup. But he's definitely one who I feel like could be a good option for us. A good young striker who's willing to build himself and maybe bide his time a bit. But then again, some strikers aren't happy coming and being behind Harry Kane, and depends what kind of character he is. But he's versatile as well. And I've been impressed with him when I've seen him for Ajax in the Champions League.
Yeah, surely if he's looking at it in terms of his future, with him being 22 years of age, Harry Kane being 30 years of age, surely he looks at it being, maybe I can be his successor.
Potentially, that might be the way he's thinking. But then again, Kane might be able to go till he's like 30.
Yeah, that's a separate conversation. You know what I mean? But the way he's looking at it, maybe, what a great player I can learn off first of all, and maybe I can be his successor.
Yeah, but I think that'll be a healthy attitude for sure. And I think he looks like a good young player, and I don't know how much they'll be willing to sell him for, but Ajax, we all know, supply a very good, good talent, conveyor belt of talent. So 100%, that makes me believe he's probably going to turn out to be a very good player.
Well, all of us will be keeping a very keen eye on Mohamed Kudus in this World Cup. But let's move on to the next story we've got to you, and it's about Pape Matar Sarr, also at the World Cup with Senegal. And Corriere dello Sport are reporting that AC Milan will monitor the performances of Pape Matar Sarr at the World Cup with an aim of looking at a January loan for Sarr. I mean, he was rumoured to go there in the summer. Obviously, it didn't happen for one reason or another. Do you reckon he'll even play that much in the World Cup?
Yeah, I'm not sure, because the last few times for Senegal he's been on the bench, hasn't he? He hasn't really started that much. So I'm not confident that he's going to be blessed with minutes, especially seeing as how much he's played for Tottenham, which is 0. So given that he hasn't played anything for Tottenham really, how match fit is he going to be? Are they going to trust him to start straight away? Probably not. But if he does get a few minutes, maybe he can impress. Or if there are injuries, maybe he can come in and show what he can do. Obviously, he probably needs a loan deal. He probably should have been loaned out in the summer, in all honesty. But I think it's because I don't know why. Were we looking to sign someone or something? I can't remember why. And he never got loaned out in the end. I think we were looking to sign someone in his place, and it never happened. And,
yeah, it got to like the last 2 weeks of the window. We're only signing players if we can get these guys out the door, and I guess we just couldn't get anyone in.
Yeah, so he needs a loan move. He needs minutes. Clearly in France for I can't remember who he used to play for.
Who, Porro?
No,
Sarr.
Metz.
He plays for Metz.
For Metz, he was clearly shown a lot of potential. He's still what? Is he still a teenager? Is he still 19 or is he 20 now? So I think clearly he needs time on the full pitch to develop properly.
He's 20 now.
Okay, he's 20 now.
He just turned 20 in September.
Conte doesn't clearly feel like he's ready, so he needs a loan move. But I don't know if AC Milan is the right move unless he's going to play a lot.
Well, I guess why would they think about bringing him in on loan from January until the summer if
he's not going to play? I don't know. But they've got some good centre mids there, so I don't see how he automatically gets in.
It's weird rumours though, like AC Milan in the summer, AC Milan coming up again in January. I mean, it seems weird that they would bring him in and not play him for a loan move.
100%. I agree with that. I do.
But anyway, let's move on. Another transfer rumour we've got to you from a journal, Notícias, which is a Portuguese publication, and they're claiming that Tottenham Hotspur, Atletico Madrid, Barcelona, Juventus and Real Madrid are all interested in Sporting fullback Pedro Porro. We saw him firsthand this year in the Champions League, and I was quite impressed. They do say only something close to his 45 million release clause will tempt Sporting into selling in January. So they're claiming that they might be open to selling him in January.
I mean, if he's got a 45 million release clause, then it doesn't matter whether they're open or not. You pay the release clause, he goes. I was super impressed with him for Lisbon when he played against us. I thought we really struggled to deal with him a lot of the times at right back. Obviously, they played four backs, a bit of a different system, but maybe he gets a bit more freedom at right wing back. Would give him clearly. He's got really good pace. He's got good crossing ability. He's got a really good passing as well. I remember he got a really great assist against Frankfurt in one of their when they played Frankfurt early in the group stage and won 3-0 away, and he had a brilliant assist I think for the final goal. And he's 21 years of age. I think he's maybe he's Spanish. I'm not sure if he has any caps or not.
He's got
one cap. Okay, 21. That's not bad.
23.
He's 23. Okay, 23. Still, he's young. He's got a lot of growth. He can definitely get a lot better. And I think that it's a shame he didn't make it to the World Cup. But they obviously got some good players. They're more experienced. They went for them with Azpilicueta and Carvajal, which is obviously they went for experience over youth. But for what I've seen of him, he looks like a right back with real potential. So 100%, if we're going in for him, I'd be excited because it means we're convinced by him. 45 million this day and age. I mean, I'm not saying it's cheap, but it's not that much in 2022 standards.
I agree. And it's an interesting one because Man City actually signed him from Girona back in 2017. He was on Man City's books for a while, got a loan to Valladolid for a year, came back to Man City, and then Sporting picked him up for a loan, then took him for another loan. He was there for 2 years on loan, and then they ultimately signed him. So it shows how good his loan spells went at Sporting Lisbon. But it's interesting why Man City never seemed to keep him.
And they probably sign a lot of youngsters. Look, I know
the same year they signed Kyle Walker, right? 2017.
Yeah. But he was probably a lot younger then. Obviously, it's 5 years, so it would have been 18. So I never take too much stock into what players were doing at that age, like if they were getting released by this and that, because every player has their own journey, isn't it?
True.
So if he was released by Man City when he was 18, doesn't mean he's a bad player. And from what I can see, he looks like he's really talented, and I think he has the right profile of what we need from wing back. So I 100% would be in for this.
So come the start of next season, Pedro Porro right wing back, Destiny Udogie left wing back, with a couple of new centre backs in there. Could be a very new look Tottenham, couldn't it?
Looking very good all of a sudden.
Next up, we're going to talk about a potential outgoing, and this is Niall John, who's been in the academy for a while now. Under Jose Mourinho, he was kind of knocking on the door, wasn't he, of first team, maybe not being part of the first team, but part of the subs and the squad. For some reason or another, hasn't seemed to work out for him since then. And Ali Gold has said that Niall John is attracting interest from Brighton and some overseas clubs. And, Niall John now, it doesn't seem to be working at Tottenham, so it's probably best just to cut our losses now, isn't it?
Probably. I remember wasn't it a pre-season under Nuno? He got a lot of opportunities.
That's it, Nuno, yeah.
And then I think, didn't he start against Passos? I think
he started against Passos and he played against Marine as well.
Against Marine I think he played. So he played okay, I remember, in those games, but clearly he hasn't really impressed anyone. He went out on loan, didn't he? I think to Charlton. Didn't really do so well there. So if we're not convinced by him, then it is what it is. But sometimes I feel like as well we do give up on players quite easily.
Only 19.
Still very young. So maybe he's got a bright future, but it seems like the Tottenham youth academy don't seem convinced by it, do they? So
yeah, you know what? Just stick in a little cheeky buyback clause, and we'll be all right.
Yeah, always put the buyback clause. You got to learn from Real Madrid what they do when they sell their youngster. Always put a buyback clause in
exactly. And last but not least, let's talk about Lucas Moura, because he's been speaking to the press in the last 48 hours, and he's talking about his future. And these are the quotes. And he says, "My plan, to be honest, I want to play football and I want to be in a club that allows me to play at a high level, play in a good league, play at a good level. That's my plan. I still have a lot of firewood to burn. I'm 30 years old, so I'm very young." So my thought is to finish the season with Tottenham, try to win a title this season and free of contracts. Sit down with my family and listen to the offers that will appear. That's when you analyse everything, country, club, financial side. It's an analyse analysing everything and then make the best decision. That's my thought. But now I'm very calm here. If Tottenham want to renew the contract, that's also cool. A club I like a lot. I'm adapted. Let's see. Let's hear the new proposal. If they don't want to, I'll leave for free. And being free, of course, means more proposals will appear. So it's a matter of analysing and seeing what's the best that we decide. And there's possibility of returning to Brazil. It's difficult. I've always said that I want to go to Sao Paulo, which is the club I love. I never stipulated any deadline, and I said that I wanted to stay at least 10 years in Europe. And since when I left Sao Paulo, my thoughts was to stay in 10 years in Europe, whatever happens. Playing in Europe, high level, Champions League. After that time, let's see what's happened. Let's see what comes up. Let's see my situation, my moment, the offers will appear, and then let's decide. So Lucas is clearly thinking about his future and what's going to happen past this season. It's important to note that Spurs do have an option to activate an extra year on the contract if we do wish, but I think at this stage it's probably best just to end the contract at the end of this season and then bring in a replacement.
Yeah, it does make sense to me to renew his contract given his performance level at the moment, and as well it gives us an opportunity to add some proper competition for Kulusevski and proper rotation options, because right now it's too big of a drop-off between Kulusevski and Moura, and it really hurts the team when we don't have him. When Kulusevski comes out and Lucas Moura comes in, it does really hurt the quality of the team in our performances. So as much as I think he's been a good servant to the club, I do believe he's a good player. I believe it's probably time we move on from him. We know Van Groen him a bit. He's getting on a bit. He doesn't have the same power he used to. I don't feel like he's as explosive a player he used to be as well. Like dribbling ability, where I felt like on his day he could just get past anyone, even if there wasn't much at the end of it. I feel like that's getting out of his game as well a bit. So as much as I like him as a person and as a player, I think it is time. I think time has come to gar separate Lucas Moura and just say thank you for your service. But that's it, I think.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's had pretty much little to next to no impact this season when being on the pitch, which is unfortunate to say because, after that night in Ajax and the good times that he has given us, we appreciate Lucas Moura and we always will appreciate Lucas Moura. But, there's always comes to a time where you have to say goodbye, isn't there? And I think that time is coming very soon.
He's coming up. Well, he signed in 2018, so we're coming up to 5 years now.
Yeah.
Tottenham, I think that's a good
servant to the club.
Yeah.
Good servant to the club, and we'll miss him very much. And he gave us, like I said, some great times, but I don't expect Spurs to take that extra option of a year for next season. I expect us just to probably cut our losses and then bring in a replacement in the summer.
Get a younger player in who's hungrier, has a higher ceiling as well, and actually give us a proper rotation option, and that's the way forward, I think.
Absolutely spot on. So that is our Tottenham update today. Let us know in the comment section below what you think of any of the transfer stories we brought to you, and let us know what you think Spurs should do with Lucas Moura this summer. Put your options in the comment section below. Like, subscribe and comment, and as always, come on you Spurs.